Tum, 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 tum. Okay, I think we're live. So I'm checking a couple of things to see if we are live on the two accounts. I am streaming this on both Nation, yep, and then I'm also streaming it on my personal. Let's take a look at that. Mm, mm. Oh, streaming both ways. Yep. So I paid for the StreamYard paid account. That's where we are. Gian Jim, everyone. Thanks for joining. Happy to have you here. I wanted to actually do a casual stream to go over what we have just released recently, which is Nation 1.9.4. To be honest, we've been releasing like a version a week, so it's hard to keep track. And what we do have to do is like work backwards from 2.0. So Nation 2.0 is what we will go live with on TGE, maybe like a day after. Let's see. And that will be the main version that we think is ready. But you know, the work is never done. It's going to be a lot of things to figure out. I think what's mostly on my mind right now is one thing, which is how do you come from the trenches to go to Nation, to go to Gauntlet, and become a senator? That that is the hardest part. I think the main point has been to maybe like focus on revenue. Like revenue could drive you through, but even with that, I was like, what kind of revenue? How much revenue? But then what's the gamification part of it? Like, where would you get the revenue from, right? So that's where we've been debating a little bit and thinking about different gamifications. To be honest with you guys, I'm going to do multiple seasons. So they're going to be like season one of the Gauntlet. We'll try something. We'll see if people enjoy it or people find it fun. And then from there, maybe we modify some things and then we launch season two. And so probably like each season, there will be a couple of agents that launch their tokens. And then depending on how well they perform, we will learn from that and then improve. I've been watching a lot actually what's happening on the virtuals ecosystem, which is an amazing ecosystem with the virtual version points, these like Genesis launches, a lot of things going on there, a lot of feedback, which is good from the community to see what works, what doesn't work. There's a lot of learning from there. We don't want to copy really. We want to create something very different, something unique. And so this story of Nation, of Outlanders starting really kind of in your workbench, just helping you, and then maybe thinking this is something that you can put to the public, sending it to the trenches, trying to stand out, trying to cross these gates of the city to become a citizen into the main homepage. It's already like a big quest. Like that's a big thing for people to do, and that's fun. But then we are in crypto, so people want to make money. Like, how do I make money? And this is really something where I guarantee to you, this is like the one thing that's very proud of. This is how I sleep at night, which is our product can do things that no other product in crypto. To be fair, Web2 is an amazing place, but in Web3, no other product can do what we can do. The fact that you can launch an agent, no coding, tick, 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 it does a few things. The only limitation is really the ideas, the imagination. What can you do with it? So yeah, that's really the differentiator. I think some people will be able to make money just from that. Some amazing creators will have some ideas of, you know, an agent that gives a service very well designed, it has a good combination of skills, does something very unique and will make them revenue, generate revenue. But also, like we know, a lot of people want to play casino. A lot of people want to actually have their agents launch a token. And what does a token mean? Actually, a token means that you are betting on the future of this agent. So hopefully you will not rug these people who are betting on you. So, long story short, there will be actually a lot of things we're going to try. There is a lot of features that we're going to do. And with that, we'll be happy to get feedback. We'll see what people are thinking. What do they like? What don't they like? But before we go into that, I just wanted to do like a quick checkpoint on our latest release, version. Man, again, I lost track. So I think it's version 1.9.4. A lot of questions about that, about what can it do. So I'm just going to explore it. Just going to explore it with you guys, and you can see what's going on the screen. and then I have two screens. So I'll be just showing a few things. I'll be checking the questions. Um, and yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, let me share my screen first. I have two or three beers ready, so if these are over, the stream is over. Yeah. Okay. Sharing my screen. Let's see which tab is it. The Nation tab, of course. All right. Let me take a look at the comments first. A lot of GMs. Average token price. Dude, if I knew, I would tell you. I mean, I would tell myself. Um, the Koi Sasha. I don't know what that is. Um, nice. A lot of support. Good job. Okay, so a couple of house rules. So this is my account. Actually, you've probably seen this account on the leaderboard, right? A lot of people were worried about the leaderboard, saying, "Hey, who's this account? Is taking all of the season 3 allocation." So that's my account. It's not going to count. So don't worry about that. I think the race starts somewhere from number 2 downwards. Um, So with this account, actually, I own a couple of agents. As you can imagine, actually, there is a few agents that we have put as citizens. Those are like a preview. Those are things that we have built internally. I think there is 4 or 5 of them, and you can see them here. So right, so on Nation, this is the homepage. When you get to Nation.fun, this is the homepage you will see. You see that the population of Nation is 5. This has 5 agents that are slightly different. So you can actually interact with them. You can see what they can do. I have a little bit of like caps here. So for those who don't know caps, caps are crystal action points. So the crystal action points is what allows you to interact with the agents. Everybody gets free caps allowance, and then some people can buy paid caps. And so I think if I am just like a new user, I get 480 caps that are free. They refresh every day. But then if I have any NFTs, there's a lot of freaking questions about the NFTs. Like, we are not going to mint any other NFT collection. So everything that we do, we always think about this NFT collection. What can it do? What can it bring as value? And you will see a lot of benefits that are coming in. For example, right here, what we did with the latest release is that the more NFTs you hold, the more free caps you get. So you see, I have 3 here. So 624 is more than 480, right? So those are the free caps. And then I have the paid caps here. So this account, as I said, we have topped it up quite a bit. So it has paid caps, and then I can use my caps. If you haven't really topped up your caps, if you've never seen this one, it's a fully audited smart contract that we have done with, I think this one was with the Sherlock team. Today, it allows you to top up with USDC and ETH. So I can say, for example, I want to top up 1 USDC, and this will give me roughly 1,000 caps. If I top up with Nation, when we launch Nation, you will see that you will get a little bit more. Like we're thinking of probably like 20% add-on. So if you 1 USDC gets you 1,000 caps, but if you pay that with Nation, like 1 USDC worth of Nation, you are getting 1.2K caps. It's an incentive to get you to use Nation a bit more. So yeah, I have some caps. It's all good. And then we have a few agents here that I have built. We have introduced a few new experience. So we have now the trenches. So, okay, we have the workbench. We have the trenches. We have Nation. We have Gauntlet that is coming soon, and we have the market. So that's probably what I'm going to cover today in this stream. The workbench is really where these agents are just yours. They only work for you. Nobody else can see them, right? So I have a few here. I experiment with a few things. I play around with them. I'm playing around with Clippy. I actually hinted at a feature where if you have an idea and you don't know how to build it, you just prompt and say, "Hey, I want to build XYZ," and then we will allow you to automatically create an agent just from that idea. So this was the prototype I was playing with. So you can see here, hey, I want to create an agent called Kid an intent. His job is to have all the skills, allow users to test out the combinations. It asks me some questions, and then after that, it just gives me like a design idea. This is a very early prototype that I did in my workbench. We call that an Outlander. So Outlander agents is just like sitting out there. Nobody can see it. Nobody can interact with it. And you can build that and try it out yourself. If you're happy with the Outlander, you send it to the trenches, right? So if any of you watching the stream right now, if you go to the trenches and look for Clippy, you'll find my little guy there, right? So you can see him. So see, Clippy is here. If I actually don't like how it's built so far, I send him back to the workbench. He's back to an Outlander. In the trenches, where is Clippy? He's not there anymore. You can't access him, right? So that's really the idea of the workbench. It's for you to experiment, to see what you think is a good idea. You play around with it yourself. Maybe whatever you build here will never leave the workbench, and it will just be for you, serving you. But maybe you are more entrepreneurial. You want to build a few things, and so that way you just actually want to send it outside. I'm going to do a quick check on my Twitter to make sure that this is streaming well, that nothing is breaking. All right, we're still live. Sorry, just still using this for the first time. Okay, we're still live. So as I said, if you are watching this live, you can go to the trenches. You can see Clippy as a trencher. There you go. He's a trencher. So you can talk to him. You can see what's going on and experiment. The other area of trenches is really where this is a lot of fun is happening. There is a bunch of creators that we have that they believe what they have designed is useful. They believe other people should pay them for it, and they put it in the trenches. So we have like 1,240 trenches right now. You can rank them in a different way. So you see here the highest revenue ones, which these are like some of the early creators. They know how the system works. They built something that stood out, and then of course they took that spot where right now their revenue is quite high, which means they'll be on the top of the list. And so if you come as a new person, it's like, all right, what should I try in the trenches? You're probably going to hit the first ones. But then I highly encourage you to just go and see the new ones, right? What has been submitted. Let's see. So this agent is a Python coding agent. It has a wallet, so it has CDP, and it can do some token research. Let's chat to it and see how the programming was. Hello. So this is something that's actually very hidden in the back, which you will not see, right? So with Nation, we have built this complex cap system that will allow you to pay every time you interact with an agent. So if I am saying hello here, I'm spending some of my caps. Right? So that's what was spent. If you have free caps, those will be spent first. If you don't have free caps, the paid caps will be spent next. So let me go back to my Python coding guy and then continue chatting. So the chat here is using GPT 4.1 mini, which is quite a cheap, not so smart. It's a cheap LLM, but not so smart. And I see that the creator has not applied any service fee. So he's not overcharging me anything. Everything that I'm paying in caps is going as Nation fees. It's going into the Nation. The chat consumes something. The longer you chat, the more the agent will remember about you. And so the interaction will be more expensive. What can you do? So you see here the question will actually maybe like trigger the agent to tell me about itself. And then if I check my consumption, you see the second question is slightly more expensive than the first question, right? So the cap consumption increases a bit because the LLM behind actually stores more memory, so it can use more stuff. Let me go back. That's one thing. The other thing that we have is, of course, when you use skills, right? So I don't know much about this agent, to be honest. I'm going to see token price. What's the price of, I don't know, what am I thinking? I spoke about virtuals, yeah? Let's ask about virtuals. And so what happens with this interaction is that now the agent will call a skill, right? It called a skill, which is a token price, and it got me, or it did not get, I think it's the name's not correct. Virtual token. Try again. And so you see here the GPT 4.1 mini is cheap, but actually it's not very smart to adapt things, and so that's where something is not working here. So these skills that I call, they actually also consume some caps, right? So that's what's calling costing some caps here, and then those caps also go as, by the way, payment to the dev. This we have an open source intent kit, so whoever built this, there's a dev that built this one. It's not from our team, or maybe it is, I don't know. But that dev is an independent contributor, and what they do is that every time there is 11 caps spent on the skill that they have built, they are getting paid 20% of that as royalty. So, dude, if you are a dev, if you know how to Python code, you should go and submit contribution to Intent Kit, right? So that's really the open source stuff we have. You can come here and see the docs. In the docs, you'll be able to see contributing. How do I contribute skills? Follow the guide. You need to be dev. Don't mess up the PRs if you're not a dev. There is a wish list of what we are looking for. You can see actually that, and maybe just focus on those particular skills. But yeah, so it's an open contribution model. Going back to the trenches, so as I was saying, like every time somebody interacts with these agents, they accumulate a little bit of revenue. So you see here, this guy, spoke to him a little bit. He got 32 caps in revenue. He's not getting any revenue, any profit, because the service fee is 0%, right? So if I look at, let's take a look at this dude, 46% service fee, 0. Nobody spoke to him. let's chat with him. I should actually allocate some budget every week of caps so I can go and chat to the new agent in the trenches. That's what I will do. I'll spend my caps on my trenches. Hello, what can you do, or what are you best designed for? And so what I'm doing here, I'm spending obviously some caps chatting to this agent. It's a mini again. It's not going to take a lot of my caps. Perhaps when I call skills, it will, can you search GitHub for intent kit? So that's the repo that I showed you, the open source. So when I ask them for this, what it will do, it will just call this particular, probably it will call the skill. Yeah, it called it. It used some caps. Doing all this, it showed me really some of the. Actually, it showed me the right one. So Crystal Network, and I can go and take a look at it. And if you see here, if I refresh the page, there you go. 25 caps, 46% service fee. I'm not sure why it's not getting. Oh yeah. I'm not sure if this is it, but what we have is that the profit and the revenue should not come from the free caps. So if I'm spending my free caps, which I don't think I am, it actually should not gain any revenue or profit. That way we are fair. So that way there is no bots, there is no farming of agents with free caps. We are really counting the paid caps, so real value spent on these agents. I'm not sure why it's not actually adding more, so let me maybe invoke a few more things. Can you get me info about, what does it have? Ethereum token. I'm hoping to call this, no, using more token skill. Again, the GPT 4.1 mini is not the smartest. It's like talking to a little bit of a kid. I think there is some API thing, so maybe like the user who would set up this, they don't have the right plan for Morales. But essentially, like the more you will spend on this agent, hopefully it will accrue some caps. And we only detect anything above 1. There you go. So now it's starting to make some profit. It's because the spending was very, very small. Anyway, so that's the trenches. Go have fun, see what's out there, see what works, what doesn't work. The Nation is where we put some examples of agents that do a few things. Some of these guys, because I talked about them. So Wolf Expertise, what it's doing is managing a 1.2K portfolio of ETH. You can see here what it's doing. So it's doing some autonomous jobs to trade ETH and USDC that go back and forth. It also actually tweets about BTC and what's doing. So it has a Twitter account linked to it. You can see that what is tweeting, what is telling about each one of them. Either it made a trade or actually telling some alpha about a particular. Let me share this stuff. This is the Wolf XPT. So sharing some alpha about BTC or about its own trades on ETH. So that's possible. We wanted to show some examples here. So like, for example, Sai is a content creation. So I use it usually for creating some content for some of the stuff that you guys see on our Twitter and so on. I can ask him, and that generates for me using the OpenAI. It also has a Twitter skill link to it. It's linked to the Intent Kit account, but it's not listening to you guys because it does not have a job running, or it does. Actually, nobody's mentioning it. So if you mention it and tell it, hey, can you create for me an image of something, it will actually go and execute that. That's in its programming that we built here. So in the autonomous task, I actually tell it here, what to do. This is the program. Remember to call. There you go. So it's running every 30 minutes and doing that. So yeah, you can anytime create an agent, you can update it. You don't have actually to worry about what am I creating, can I change it? Yes, you can change it forever. That's what you can do. You'll be able to change your agent again and again and again. Sorry, I'm struggling with the windows. Yeah, I was showing you Sai, so that's what's happening. Pink AI. People are mentioning. Oh, actually, I see there's some comments going on here. Can't post comments on your current destination and more. Sorry, guys, the comments are not working anymore for some reason. That's what's happening. All right. Let me think again. So what did we release, right? So we have Nation.fun. We have the trenches, the Nation. We showed also some samples of the market. So you see here some ambassadors. So these are actually tokens that are not launched using the gauntlet mechanism that we have. And so what you can do with them is that you can trade their own token, of course. These are example ambassadors that just tell you about their token. So I can ask it, should I buy XPT before I buy it? And then it will give me the full analysis, calling a few skills that it has, and giving me like a buy or sell recommendation. This is what the market will look like. So you will have your own agent with its token here. Of course, you can rank them by market cap, by volume, etc. And then they'll be visible there, and you can trade them. And people before trading the agent can try it out. And so with Loki, they can try it out and see, for example, the skills that it has, whatever is the designer applied for it. They use a skill. In these example of ambassadors, they're just using the skills to tell you about the sentiment and the volume and whether you should trade it or not. So that's that. That's mostly it, really. 1.9.4, it has a bunch of things, but they are just mostly to make your experience very, very streamlined. Your profile is here. Things changed a little bit, so your profile is right here. You can top up caps right now with USDC and ETH. Soon it will be with Nation. The workbench is where you create things just for yourself, right? So that's an Outlander. Remember the name. Into the trenches is a trencher where you send it as a public. If you have something that is good enough to make it as a citizen, we'll reveal the rules, by the way. There will be clear rules about how to become a citizen and how to go to the gauntlet. And so those you can show them here, and they will be showing on the Nation tab, the homepage. And if they successfully launch a token, you'll be able to see them actually on the market part. That's the most part. There's a few questions that are coming in, maybe like around the the eligibility checker. So we removed that, the eligibility checker, because what we're doing like a bunch of crazy data aggregation to see who's eligible, who's not eligible, and then that will be added to a new site that we'll share with you share with you soon, that will tell you where you claim, where you stake. I encourage everybody to stake. You'll see like the staking rewards would be so aggressive that it's just stupid to claim and sell. You just have probably to claim and stake. And then every week that passes, every month that passes with staking assets, you're almost doubling what you have. So yeah, up to you, but that's my recommendation. The other thing that we have just announced as well. So I'm very excited about this one, which is the um, creator program, right? So what we want to do is actually we want to have organic creators coming in and talking about Nation, sharing that. So we're creating like a very exclusive group of 30 creators that they come in, and these creators will be able to create content for over a week. And at the end of the week, we'll look at the best pieces of content, the ones that get the best quality engagement, got the best reactions, interaction volumes, etc. So we have some metrics to look at, really focusing on quality. We're not focusing on botted accounts or something like that. If you are in the top 5 that week, you're getting Nation tokens. If you are not in the top 5, you get another week to try. Um, Actually, you get 3 weeks to try. So if you don't win in 4 weeks, you're out. Somebody else comes and takes your spot. But then if you actually just in a group, but you're not participating, you're not creating any content, also you're out much earlier. We want to create that first cohort by June 7th. So I've shared here a form that you can actually fill up. A few things to fill up here, really: the wallet, linking the X account to verify who they are. If you have different channels than X, maybe like Farcaster, TikTok, whatever it is, just give us your channel so we take a look at it. Telegram group, in case you're selected, we'll add you to Telegram group chat. And then just like some description. Who are the ones that you're interacting with? And then you'll be able to submit your application. There is a few people who are applied already. We'll evaluate that maybe in a day or two, and then invite the good ones to the Telegram group, and then kick this off. And the first, hopefully, rewards will come in time after the TG, which is June 3rd. So that will have it. We don't want these content creators to obviously like get rewards and dump the token. And so for the rest of the community, we assure that these rewards will be given in Stake Nation. The Stake Nation has a cool-off period of about 7 days. So that creates a little bit of like time that goes through. That's mostly it. I thought I had so much more to share, but really that's what I wanted to share today. Go and try 1.9.4. You'll be able to speak to any agents on the Nation. I encourage you to explore the trenches, to be honest. Like whoever, like this revenue figure will be important. So if you want to support a particular agent, you want to bet on it, I encourage you to chat to them. Whatever you bet on them with your caps now, when they are in the gauntlet, that will matter. So that's the only hint that I can give you, right? So if I spend right now 5 caps on an agent and that agent makes it to the gauntlet and succeeds the gauntlets and launches a token, hopefully I will get like 10x, 20x on my cap spent. So that's what the trenches is for, to support the agents, to really get them through this journey, to go through the gauntlet and succeed, of course. Yeah, so that's mostly it. Again, thank you for whoever participated in the launch pool. We have sent you an NFT for the top 50 or 55. We have assigned the roles in Discord if you're a Discord member. We will do the TG in 7 days. And at that TG, there will be a site to claim for your tokens if you are eligible, of course, to claim. And then there will be also like an airdrop for the, I think there is 155 people that participate in the launch pool. So those will get the airdrop directly to their wallet. Yeah, until then, create agents, figure out the easy way to create. We're going to make it even easier with a prompt to create and with a copy button. And so the copy button, by the way, will pay the creator. So don't worry, nobody's going to steal your agent. You can select to make it copyable. And if it's copyable, whoever copies it pays you. So that's more caps coming in your way. Create agents, send them to the trenches, be creative, get them standing out, and then soon we'll share how they can make it to the Nation, how they can make it to the gauntlet, and hopefully launch a token that you can benefit from. That's it. This is Marwan. I enjoyed talking to you guys, and I haven't drunk much of my beer, but if anything, just hit me up on Discord, hit me up on Telegram or Twitter, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Cheers.